Good morning. Good morning. My name is Charlie Destries, and I am so very happy to be here. You know, I've only been coming here a short time, just over 2 years, and what a difference it's made in my life, my family's life. It has been just this wonderful, wonderful experience, and I hope you find the same thing. Welcome, one and all, to our Unitarian Universalist religious community. We welcome you, whoever you are, whatever tradition, gender, race, sexual orientation, social status, age, and any other way you identify yourself. For those gathered in the chapel, I urge you to turn off your phones. Now, today's Easter Sunday. There are a lot of people online watching this, and the more people there are, the more Wi-Fi we need. So if you could turn off your phones, it would really be wonderful for our online community. If you need a little extra hearing support, by the way, and I understand that, I'm losing mine a little bit. We have assisted hearing devices at the usher station in the back, so you can certainly grab one of those, or you can move up front a little bit if you could hear a little bit more. Feel free to borrow one of those for the service.
Let me add my words of welcome to Charlie's. I'm Reverend Michelle Buhite, the minister of this congregation. My pronouns, which I offer to create a truly inclusive and brave space for all to live into the fullness of their identities, are she and her. I begin our time together with these opening words from Maureen Killeran. Holy is this place. Blessed is this ground on which we stand. Holy is this place. Holy are the places of memory, the places which have formed us, where we store the icons of success and shattered dreams, and gather threads and pieces of what we would become. Holy are the places of memory. Holy are the places of the dream, the places over the rainbow, where all children are wanted and all people are fed, where colors are the source of celebration, and youth and age come to the table as one. Holy are the places of the dream. Holy are the places of change and pain, the places of our struggle, where the rivers of our lives run white and fast, and we hold on, and grow. Holy are the places of change and pain. Holy are the places of connection, the places where we risk ourselves, where hands, touch souls, touch minds, and in awareness still, we change our lives. Holy are the places of connection. Holy are the places of becoming, the places of clear vision, where life and world are intertwined, and we can see forever in this moment and give thanks. Holy are the places of becoming. Blessed is the ground on which we stand. Holy and whole-making is this place. Our gathering music this morning is an adaptation of a traditional African-American spiritual. Words for "We've Got the Whole World in Our Hands" are projected up front. So I invite you to rise in body or spirit as we join voices. If you feel like clapping, clap on 2 and 4, okay?
That was great. That was fantastic. Love singing. It brings out a certain thing, you know? It's fantastic. So, we are going to be doing our land acknowledgement right now with help from Kim Byham. Appreciate it. We move from a time of welcoming to a time of centering as we employ the elements of water and fire to create the sacred space where we can be fully present. We begin with an acknowledgement that our church is built on holy ground, land that was nurtured and cultivated by those who occupied it before us. We offer this libation as our giveaway as we honor the struggle of all people seeking justice and peace. We seek the courage and wisdom to heal the wounds of the past and build a better future story together with all our neighbors and fellow creatures. It is also our custom when we gather to light a chalice. The chalice is a cup or a vessel that symbolizes the gathered community, and it is the symbol of our Unitarian Universalist faith. Please join me in our chalice lighting words. We gather this hour as people of faith with joys and sorrows, gifts and needs. We light this beacon of hope, sign of our quest for truth and meaning in celebration of the life we share together.
Today is a pretty special day in our congregation. Not only is it Easter, not only is it Earth Day, but it is, well, Earth Day Sunday, I know, but it is also a day when we are dedicating children to this faith and to this gathered community, and it is a big deal. So we will not be having a traditional time for all ages with a story and puppets, because the dedication is the best kind of time for all ages. Yeah. So in a moment, we are going to move into our labyrinth meditation. And dedicating families, once you have placed your stones on the labyrinth, should you choose to do so, if you can sort of gather over near the minion up front, I'm pretty sure we're the only church on Easter Sunday that has a minion up front, but there are some rows there where you can scoot in because we'll be doing the dedication immediately following the labyrinth. And so, each week, we bring ourselves into this place, this sacred time. We bring our joys, our concerns, our sorrows. I invite you to come forward and place a stone or shell on the table labyrinth in recognition of all that you bring and all that you are. May we remember that we are called to heal and bring love to the broken places. Come forward as you will. I place a final stone in recognition of those who are joining us online. Know that you are held in this community. We expand our circle of concern to include those who may not be present, but whose presence we do feel. We lift up those who are sick, who are ill either in body or in spirit. Those who are in pain, those who are lonely, those who are feeling overwhelmed and maybe a little lost, those who have been wronged. May our hearts remain tender even when we would create a wall around them. May we continue to find hope in the goodness of life and in the source of love. May we find strength and peace and the courage to carry on. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be. And so, beloveds, today we enact one of the most precious rites in our faith tradition, welcoming children into the community and dedicating ourselves to their spiritual and physical well-being. In Unitarian Universalism, the dedication of children into the community is voluntary. There is no pressure to save a soul, snatching it from the potential separation from the source of love. Parents and families choose to dedicate children in our tradition because they recognize that raising up the next generation will take a community, a place where their children can experience loving acceptance, joy in their accomplishments, a home to receive their joys and their sorrows, a place to explore and to be challenged, and to learn to embody our values with love at the center so that they can apply them in a world of injustice and pain. So dedicating families, wow, look at y'all. So we're going to try to be sort of here and as far as here. And I'm going to let you do that. So do that now. I'm usually very directive, so I would like some credit right now. Thank you, thank you. I'm here all week. Excellent, yeah. Oh, it's okay, Quinn. You're good. I think we'll stand up, though, for this one, okay? Please? Okay, and you can stand in front of the stones. It's all good. I did, so I rearranged the furniture to be very silly. All right, so I'm going to come back around and get my things. There's so many things. Right. Remember that evening Michelle set the flowers on fire? We're going to hope that that's not a story that we end up telling ourselves. That's what we're going to hope. All right. And Katie, those are your certificates. Thank you. Very nice. Oh, that only took 5 minutes. Okay. So, I cannot imagine a more fitting way to celebrate Easter's promise of new life than by welcoming your children into this faith home, this community. And so, church family, let me introduce to you these families. So, here we have Gabe and Rebecca and their daughter Quinn. And we have Brianna and Mark and their daughters Liliana and Evie. Oh. And we have Brielle and John and their children. Hi, Jude. And Poppy. Some of you may know Poppy. For those of you, it's your first time, they're like, what's so funny? Poppy is our Energizer bunny. So, and then we have Romano and Ashera and their daughters. Which one's which? Okay, Sonnet. These are my grandchildren. Sonnet and Sienna and Aria. So we have, I know. We are truly blessed to welcome these children and their families formally into this congregation. So congregation, please rise as you are able and remain standing through some words and a prayer. Even if you're a visitor today, you're part of the congregation. Will you, friends of UU Amherst, rejoice with these families and the lives of their children? Will you take upon yourselves the sacred privilege and responsibility of nurturing these children's character and spirit, pledging to them and their families the love and care of this congregation? If so, say with almost scary gusto, we will. We will. That was the perfect amount. So join your hearts with mine in the spirit of prayer. Sacred source of all life and source of these lives in our midst, we are in wonder at the miracle of birth, and we are overjoyed with gratitude for each child here. Grant to these families the wisdom and courage and strength to lead their children in the journey of their lives. May this congregation be for them a firm root, a circle of love, and a source of vision. Amen. You may be seated. Not y'all. All y'all. There we go. Okay, so I've been trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to do this. And I think it's going to be, I still am unsure, but I'm just going to, okay. So for those of you who have one child, today's your lucky day because one person's holding and one person's going to hold a rose. Isn't that fun? Now you get to decide which one of you is going to juggle both a rose and a child. Oh, for goodness sake, Michelle, you keep choosing the ones that don't have a thingy. You can hold one too? You can do two? Yeah. Well, ultimately, yes, it's one for each child.
Okay.
But it gets tricky over here. Maybe Katie can do some roses too. All right, so there's one. I'm trying to choose the ones that have the little water thingy on them.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Okay, and do you need to hold your own? You. And then it's all going to be a crying session. I'll hold it a moment later. All right. Arlen? Okay. You can do it. You want to hold it? Excellent. Okay, so this is where we actually do the dedication part. So, to dedicate children in our faith tradition, we make use of two elements: a budding flower, symbol of the lives unfolding before us in all their strength and grace and possibility, and we use water, symbol of purity and freshness, the source from which all life springs, reminding us that while we today embrace these children into this community, they are already part of the community of the whole wide world, which we hold in our hands. So families, as I direct you, you will dip just the tip of your rose into the water, the flower part, not the bottom. And then you'll be touching the rose to your children's brow, then lips and hands. And I'll pause long enough to allow for multiples. Okay, so if you'd like to get a little bit of water on there. Lovely. And water. You'll get it back, don't worry. Water, can you put it in the water? Good job.
Thank you.
Water, can you put it in water a little bit? Very nice. All right, very nice. Beloved children, with flower and water, ancient symbols of purity and beauty, we touch your brow to dedicate your thoughts. We touch your lips to dedicate your speech, and your hands to dedicate your deeds to that which is noble and beautiful and true. May your hearts always know love, your minds search for truth and beauty, your eyes always seek justice. May your hands find labor which fulfills you, your bodies carry you far, and your spirits forever seek the mountaintop. And since this whole process is a covenant, congregation, I invite you to join me in our covenant with these families. Together we promise to gather in compassionate community, to celebrate diversity of thought and unity of spirit, and to seek wholeness for ourselves, our children, and our world. And with great joy, we sing you to your activities. So Katie is going to give each family a certificate, and they also have a pretty spiffy necklace, a little commemoration for each child. We didn't want to wrestle with putting things over their heads. So if you'd like to follow Miss Katie and Miss Molly while we sing. And there's even more. That felt like, okay, now we're done here, but no, there's so much more. Easter and Earth Day are a perfect matchup. My usual liturgy for this combined holy day comes from the American poet Mark Nepo, who writes, "All the buried seeds crack open in the dark. The instant they surrender to a process they can't see." He then offers a little bit of commentary. What a powerful lesson is the beginning of spring. All around us, everything small and buried surrenders to a process that none of the buried parts can see. And this innate surrender allows everything edible and fragrant to break ground into a life of light that we call spring. In nature, we are quietly given countless models of how to give ourselves over to what appears dark and hopeless, but which ultimately is an awakening that is beyond all imagining. The moving through the dark into blossom is the threshold to God. The courage of the seed is that once cracking, it cracks all the way. I trust you can see how this relates to a story about a man dying to self and resurrecting to a life that could not have been imagined before. It also relates to how we are often called upon to surrender to a process we can't see or understand. So I have two propositions for you today. I'm feeling hesitant, but I'm going to say it anyways. The Easter story is not what we've always been told. That's proposition 1. This is 1A. I believe we have missed the whole point. Aside from the seed to flower imagery, which I think we experience more often than we are aware of or ready to admit. Second proposition, I have a few thoughts about what the story of the resurrection could be, if not the resuscitation of a dead person. So, the story is not what we've always been told, and I have some ideas. I am starting with an assumption that you know something of the Easter story. If I am in error in that assumption, I suggest you find a Bible, flip to the New Testament, which is about 2/3 of the way in, and read the first 4 books, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Those 4 tellings of Jesus' life and death and potential resurrection can be confusing. They don't all say the same things in the same way. They tell slightly different stories. And it is useful, I think, to remember that these stories are located in a first-century understanding of the universe and worldview. You may have a sense that Jesus went through all of the horrors of the events leading to his death alone. So many of us who are familiar with the story know that Peter denied Christ 3 times. And the Gospels even note that all of the men, ran away in fear for their own lives, right? This was not a safe situation. But hidden in plain sight, written right into those Gospels, is the evidence that Jesus was not alone. His mother and at least one other woman, Mary Magdalene, mentioned by name, were there for all of it. And according to the Gospel of John, Mary Magdalene accompanied the body to the tomb and stood vigil overnight. It was she who saw a risen Christ, perhaps, in the gentle presence of a gardener. I wonder if she was seeing a risen Christ in everything and everyone, having finally understood fully what he had been teaching all along. So what is more important? That a dead person be resuscitated or that everything that person embodied finally be understood. I want to share with you an image, a collage image that I made recently, because I wanted to try to capture the beauty of an abiding presence that continues to speak through memory and projection. So in the image, the dominant element is a blue doorway, a threshold. Thresholds. Several sermons to come on those. The door is closed. In the background, sheep quietly graze. In the foreground is a woman smelling a rose that is growing at the threshold. On the opposite side of that closed door is sort of a ghostly-looking entity whose only real feature is a red heart that dominates its body. In this quiet scene, there's so much going on. The gateway between life and death is closed, yet the presence of the beloved is very real, though in this case, mostly featureless. You may have guessed that I envision that to be the resurrected Christ, present to the woman Mary Magdalene. Yet he is not corporeal. She is calm, as if even in loss she has understood something important about his abiding presence. She feels him. He is real to her. So this is different than the story that you have potentially heard, one that you may hold very dear, and that is your story to hold dear. This is my projection on a story. So I want to make this personal and approachable. So I'm going to make it personal to me. My dad died on November 1st, 2020. And yet, he is an abiding presence in my life. When I have problems or questions, I listen in my heart for his voice. He frequents my dreams. Does he literally appear? I don't know. I don't know enough about energy and all those things. But maybe 58 years together gives me an idea of what he would do or say in a particular situation. So when I hear his voice, sometimes he tells me how wonderful I am. He's always been so wise. His presence is near. I do not project onto that I need a physical something, because his presence abides. Maybe something in you can sort of latch onto that as a possibility. My point is not to minimize the Easter story. It is a powerful, powerful story that has lasted for generations, for literally millennia. So I am not here to minimize that. I just kind of think that maybe we missed the point. I think it is what Jesus taught and how he lived that has the capacity for transformation more than whether or not he physically came back to life. The Gospel of Luke, chapter 4, finds Jesus in the temple at the beginning of his ministry. He takes up the scroll and he reads from the prophet Isaiah, which in our current way we put our Bibles together is chapter 61, in case you're curious later. The scripture says, "The Spirit of the Lord God is upon me, because the Lord has anointed me. He has sent me to bring good news to the oppressed, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and release to the prisoners, to proclaim the year of the Lord's favor." And then he made a wild claim that those gathered in the temple had witnessed the fulfillment of the Lord's favor in him. What if that was the renewed life that we celebrated each year at this time? So I can't help but think about the situation in our country, and indeed the whole world. I think about all of those who've been detained and deported simply for being themselves, no due process, no opportunity to call lawyers or loved ones, just snatched away and imprisoned because they might have done something or might intend to do something because they just look like it. We have been called and anointed to bring good news to the oppressed, to bind up the brokenhearted, to proclaim liberty to the captives and release to the prisoners. That, I believe, was the redeeming message that Jesus brought and that he lived. Easter ought not to be about his death. It should be about the power of words and deeds beyond resuscitation, where captives are freed and good news is offered to the oppressed, because I believe that is resurrection. That's rebirth. That's a restoration to life. Many of you went downtown or other places yesterday and demonstrated in the fog and, 4 seasons that went through while you were there. That was rough. I wasn't even there. I just saw pictures. But there you were, howling at the outrage of governance gone mad. You are like seeds of hope that have been broken open and are now pressing through the hard earth to emerge with beauty and strength. Thank you for living out loud the Easter message of transformation in life. Because Easter is not about butter lambs and lilies, although it's fine if they're part of your celebration. Easter is an act of liberation. Our alleluias take the form of slogans and signs as we demand accountability and release. Easter is an act of transformation in ourselves and how we envision a life worth living for all. And Easter is an act of dedication, promising to nurture the seeds in ourselves and in the most vulnerable among us as we unfurl into something beautiful, keeping our faces to the sun. That is the Easter message from Jesus' own lips. The Gospels show that Jesus himself loved analogies about seeds, those that fall to the wayside and get pecked away by birds, and those that fall into good soil and grow into something that is life-sustaining. We are called to be those good seeds, to grow into something that is life-sustaining, not just for ourselves, but for the world and those who are held captive in so many ways. All the buried seeds crack open in the dark the instant they surrender to a process they can't see. Amen. We're going to sing together, but first the choir is going to sing to you so that you know what to do when we're singing together. If you can't help yourself but join with the choir, that's okay. We're all going to sing it eventually, right? So the choir is going to sing a time in unison, and then they're going to sing it in a round, and then they're going to stop at the same time, approximately. And then we're all going to sing together, and I think just 2 times in a round, and end together, approximately. All right, are you feeling adventurous? Look at you shining, of course you are. So the choir sings first. Help us out, choir. go anywhere. This is the part where we invite everybody. You're not afraid, are you? This was the practice, and now we're all singing. But then they won't be able to see the words, right? Do you want to stand up? Are you tired of sitting? Do what you like. Okay. All right, so we'll sing it all together once, and then madness will ensue. Okay. I guess play it through once, Rick, and then we'll go from there. Listen to it. Y'all are group 1, group 2, group 3, group 4. All together. I know this rose will open. I know my fear will burn away. I know my soul will unfurl its wings. I know this rose will open. I know this rose. 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 I know. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know this rose will open. I know this will open. I know this rose will open. Thank you, choir. You are. Yep.
Come on, let's do it another couple of times. What do you think? Just 5 parts. That's right. We cannot leave until we have it perfectly done. So making time for an offering of gifts and pledges is an act of faith. Our generosity connects us to one another in relationships of interdependence and mutuality. Because we know that we pick fruit from trees we did not plant, we drink water from wells we did not drink. This is as it should be, as long as we dig and plant for those who will come after us. The offering will now be gratefully received, and we have baskets somewhere passing out.
Come, Marjorie.
There you go. I know this. No. I can sing it backwards. Anyway. Thank you, Rick. We began our service with the lighting of our chalice, and now we extinguish the chalice, not to quench the flame, but to return it to individual hearts, strengthened by our time together today, so that we can share our light in the world. Please join your voices with mine. We extinguish this flame, but not the light of truth, the warmth of community, or the fire of commitment. These we carry in our hearts until we are together again. As our service draws to an end, our service to the world is truly ready to begin. You'll find many opportunities for growth and service in your order of service. That's that thing you get in the beginning. And and as well as on our website, by the way. All are invited to stay for coffee and conversation in the Emerson Room, which is through those double doors or through the lobby, and you'll get there one way or the other. You'll smell the coffee. Parents, please remember to gather up your children. We still have some from last weekend. And so there's a family-friendly zone at the far end of the Emerson Room where the coffee is. And now a member of the Rainbow Coalition will come up to tell us a bit about their upcoming activities. Oh, that's all right. We're just planning for next week. Adults with children in faith development, this is the time when you can go and meet your children in the Emerson Room, again, directly in the back, to accompany them in Easter festivities. Don't be alarmed if you're greeted by a certain bunny. And now, please rise in body or spirit in everything you've got as we sing our closing blessing. Don't forget to twinkle your eyes around the third verse. Remain standing afterward for the benediction.
Now twinkle. Help us to be the always hopeful gardeners of the Spirit, who know that without darkness nothing comes to birth, as without light nothing flowers. Go in peace, make a difference. Come on. Hey, how are you? It's good to see you.
Mother, by the way.
So nice to meet you.
Good to meet you.
Yes, thank you for doing the wedding.
Oh, we're going to have some
excited.
fun.
Sure.
Weddings should be fun, right?
Yes, of course.
I mean, they're solemn, but they're fun. Oh, let me make sure my microphone's off. I have a terrible habit of...